Howdy y'all, and welcome back to Aquaholic Fishing. If you're new to the channel, hey you, thank you so much for stopping by. We sincerely appreciate it. Since the last time we recorded the baits of the month, we went out there, put some of those baits to use, and ended up getting us a little trophy. On today's episode of Aquaholic Fishing, we're gonna talk about the fall transition and the best baits to use, specifically during the month of September. Guys, I can't lie, that month of August was an absolute killer. I'm hoping September gives us a little bit of reprieve. If you divide the United States in half, the north is already feeling a little bit cooler temperature where the south is still just sitting here in this heat. It is absolute torture. We're looking for just a little relief. We're looking for just a little bit of temperature change. A cool front, a cold front would be fantastic, but we'll take anything different than this sweltering heat at this point. When you think fall transition, what is your first sign? What is your first indicator? You look outside, you see the leaves, you see the foliage, you see all that stuff starting to change, right? It's no different in the water column. All that big, beautiful green grass and lily pads and all that stuff that's going on out there in the water column is starting to decay, is starting to die off from all those months of that intense summer heat. But always know there's still a little bit of green grass, there's still a little green foliage, and that's where the bass are going to target. If you find that green grass, you're going to find that big bass during that fall transition. Largemouth bass, just like any other species, they're going to go look for a place to hide, to ambush, and to find a better oxygen content in that water column, and potentially warmer or cooler water temperatures, depends on where you're at in the United States. In the south, they're going to be looking for cooler water temperatures because it's still pretty darn hot down here. In the north, might be looking for a little warmer water temperatures. Target that green grass, you will find that big bass. This is that time of year, the fall transition, where most of those hunters, they're out hunting. You and I have that water to ourselves almost exclusively now. I still like to throw the Topwater bait as my #1 choice. What is your #1 Topwater bait to throw? The cool thing about September, especially in the south, is you don't have to worry about just low light conditions for the most part. You can throw that Topwater pretty much day and night, all day long, and those largemouth bass are gonna spark that bait. My favorite Topwater bait during that fall transition, guys, without a doubt, is the Topwater popper. I like to use Zuri and I like the Storm Topwater poppers this time of year. I like white with a little orange or chartreuse, sometimes a little blue and black are my top favorites. I would slow your presentation down just a little bit during the month of September if you want to get that largemouth bass bite. I like to slowly work this lure with intermittent pulls and pops on semi-slack line. It's not about your preferred cadence or comfort cadence at this time. It's about the largemouth bass, what they prefer as far as the cadence goes. Slow it down just a little bit this time of year. Don't be so aggressive with your pops, your pulls, and your techniques, and I think you will too get bit during this fall transition when chasing that big largemouth bass bite. Secondly, dropping inside that water column a little bit while chasing that largemouth bass bite during the fall transition, I like to use the swim bait. Whether it's the bigger swim bait, glide bait, whatever it is that you prefer, or something like the Kitech swim bait that is just a soft paddle tail that you're using exclusively by itself or as a trailer on your favorite lure. Either which one, the largemouth bass love to bite this time of year. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite to use? Do you like to use the soft swim baits, or do you like to use the big glide baits that seem really popular out there right now this time of year? Big glide baits or small paddle tail swim baits are an excellent presentation during the fall transition. I've been stuck on the Kitech swim bait for years now. It just simply gets bit by largemouth bass consistently. The only downfall about this swing impact bait is it is not very durable. However, that payoff of that big bite more than outweighs this small imperfection. Staying about the same depth, if you just cannot get bit during that fall transition during the month of September, my third bait, but oftentimes my first go-to, is the soft plastic jerk bait. You can go with those hard jerk baits as well, but the soft plastic jerk bait, otherwise known as the fluke, is absolutely incredible. The Zoom Fluke, the Zoom Super Fluke, two of my favorite choices, white ice, sometimes the white with the chartreuse tail when the water's real muddy, murky, and nasty is a really good bait to go with. My fourth choice as the largemouth bass lure during the month of September is an old school favorite, a small spinnerbait. If you have any transitions in the water column that you are aware of, structure, cover, depth change, sun to shade, wind presence, or anything of that nature, throw the small spinnerbait during that fall transition. I got the Booyah and I got the Crappie Max here right now. I like the Strike King Mini King. I just don't happen to have one of those with me right now. I do use that bait quite often. My second choice would be this Booyah Micro Pond Magic. It is also a very good lure during that fall transition when you really just need to get that largemouth bass bite. The fifth lure that I introduce into my lineup during the fall transition is the old reliable Ned rig. You guys know, if you watch this channel, I am crazy about the Ned rig. The Ned rig simply gets bit when nothing else will. If the fluke won't get bit, the trick worm won't get bit, the stick bait won't get bit, I'm telling you right now, the Ned rig will get bit. That's just what happens. Really, when fall comes into play, all the way through winter, all the way into the next spring, the Ned rig just gets bit, guys. We all know that Z-Man is the leader in the industry. Z-Man carries the Ned products that everybody wants, that Elastec technology. There's no doubt that they're absolutely incredible. This is one of my favorite, guys. Bubble Guts is an absolutely cool color. I don't know if you guys have used this or not, but it gets bit. It's one of my favorites. Z-Man rules the industry on the Ned bait, but Gary Yamamoto as well as Crush City are getting up there. They're doing really good with their technology. They're getting some good Ned baits together for us, but the leader in the industry, and will probably always be the leader in the industry as far as the Ned rig goes, is Z-Man, guys. Pick your weight, pick your color, and get casting. The Ned rig simply gets bit. If there's a downfall at all to the Ned rig, a lot of people like to fish fast. If you like to fish fast, it may not be your favorite choice. You can still fish the Ned rig fast, but most of the bites that I've got during this type of year, during that fall transition for the largemouth bass, is the Ned rig and running it slow in the water column. Guys, I've talked enough. What are some of your favorite baits to throw during that fall transition when chasing the largemouth bass? Let me know down in the comments. I want to know what you guys are using. I can't just tell you what I'm using. You don't tell me any of your tips or tricks to get bit during that fall transition. Whatever it is that you're throwing during the fall transition, just get out there, enjoy a little bit better weather, cover tons of water. It's extremely important. Just get out there, have a good time, and I hope you get bit. Report back. Let me know if any of these worked for you, if they didn't work for you, or what does work for you. Thanks for stopping by the channel. I certainly appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff so I can continue to bring this good content to you guys. Have a terrific month of September. I hope your fishing is catching, and we'll see you guys on the next one sometime in early October. Until then, we'll see you guys.